So I had to apologize up front about this. I think I'm getting a fever blister. Just saying. I hate it. I kind of felt like I should cover this topic maybe as a light worker slash starseed slash hybrid slash princess slash human. That's a lot of slashes. I don't think that a lot of us knows why we're here. So I've been getting this message sent to me in my head often here lately. Actually, for about 6 months, but more with clarity recently. One, I should say, a salt grain of my mission is having the job I have right now, because there is a light worker still asleep there. It's kind of funny because in the beginning of my job, in the early days, I should say, I sat pretty far from her. And then out of the blue, our manager kind of combined some of us together. And so she paired her and I in a pod. And then things started coming to me. I think that was a orb I just saw. Things started coming to me as in, I think that was another one. I wasn't looking. As in that I am there for her to help her wake up or to counsel her, give her advice in which she needs at this time. She needs somebody who knows what they're talking about to discuss things with her. I just heard something in my ear. She's not in a really good position in life, and that's all I'm going to say about her. But I'm there for her. And so that you guys know, when we write out these contracts, we also include in our contract saying, well, hey, I'll be in your life at this time because I know that you need to be awoke at this time. And so I will be your trigger by coming into your life and reminding you of this. And you don't need to say anything to remind anybody. All you gotta do is just be near them. And they unknowingly, that doesn't make sense. Unknowingly has a trigger, not a bad trigger, just a trigger of awakening. And also there's another person there also that is asleep, and she's a starseed. She doesn't even know it. But yeah, and your parts of your life, even meeting somebody at the grocery store, if you come across somebody and they just come up to you and just start talking out of the blue, just talking like they've known you for years, and you're just like, communicating and having a good time and just like, hey, I'd like to be your friend kind of thing. That is also in your contract. That person either needed a healing from you, or their soul was like, hey, see that person over there? We're going to go over there and you're going to tell your life problems, and they're going to give you advice that you're actually going to listen to because it's in the contract, but you don't know it. That felt like it was channeled. That just flowed right out. I'm like, where'd that come from? I think that was channeled because I don't think I've ever talked that fast, that smoothly in my life. And in a correct manner. Usually I stumble with words, and that was not stumbling. When one of us, even a human, are souls, and if they want to choose a difficult life, they will. And they'll forget who they are, of course. And through the trauma they go through, they tend to hang on to it unknowingly. And to come out of it, they will put in the contract, well, then in case I don't come out of this trauma, why don't you come and meet me at Walmart on such and such day so I could be triggered into waking up saying, hey, I don't need this trauma anymore. This is not who I am. I deserve better, and go. You know what I mean? Same thing with family members. I also know, I think these orbs are going crazy today. I hope I'm not seeing things. I want to say I'm just seeing them go crazy. But anyway, I know for a fact, without a doubt, that I've lost a couple of people during the beginning of my awakening. And one of them is a very powerful starseed. I think she's more than just a starseed. And I'm not going to say who, but she's asleep. And when I had my awakening, boy, for no reason at all, become very angry and just parted ways. And I have to leave her alone. And I'm okay with it. If she feels like she's in a better place without me, then I'll have to give it to her. I have no choice. And that happens too. Sometimes when you have an awakening in your family, and you're surrounded with family, let's just say that you're a husband and you have a wife and kids, and one day you're agnostic, the next day you have an awakening and you're just like mind blown. And you're talking off of your head of things that you know but you didn't know you knew. And then your wife is looking at you like, have you lost your marbles? And then coming through this awakening, your kids just kind of, it's because your vibrations, I can't concentrate, have shot through the roof or has risen quickly, and their soul is like, oh wait a minute, that's too much for us. So that's how that works too. And sometimes people do think that you're losing your mind. They'll either have you committed or they'll ask what's wrong with you, and so forth. I have been talking to a handful of people that I will not say who. I feel and felt that I could confide in my deepest and darkest secrets. And in me doing that, through the beginning, I felt like they thought I was losing my mind, because that's how I felt about my mom. And somebody else in the family come forth and started talking about the things that I was talking about. I feel now that they believe me a little bit more and in the things that I was saying. So it's like a confirmation. But then in the back of my mind, I just feel like they don't believe everything that I say. That was an orb. I hope you've seen it. I hope I'm not losing my mind. I always say that. I see or hear or feel things and I'm like, am I crazy? Do you think I'm crazy? I go through that. I mean, this March will be 3 years since my awakening, and I still question everything. I have the biggest confusion and doubts of being a princess, most of all. I'm like, who in the world do I think I am? That I'm royalty? What? And I've had so many people confirm it, and I'm like, no, there's no way. My mom, throughout my whole life, was that I was stupid, I was sick in the head, I walked like a man, I tried to look pretty, she'd always put me down about my hair. My hair would be like it is right now. And she would down me in public about my hair. So being degraded my whole entire life to feel like I am nothing, to being something important, it is really hard to wrap my head around. But then I'm like, it makes sense, because my whole life I have been drawn to royalty and never knew why, but I just felt this pull, intense pull to royalty. Never knew why, and I knew there was a reason. It wasn't just like, oh, like the Victorians, oh, I love the Victorian area, I want a home, the Victorian style. It's not like that because you like the style. It was a pull of like, that's where I belong. Why am I not there? Kind of thing. We as light workers make these contracts with a variety of earthlings and other light workers and starseeds and so forth. Some of it is kind of silly because, just like I mentioned, well, I'm going to meet you in Walmart and you're going to wake me up because I am going to think that I am struggling. And then, and your souls actually communicate. because we are one. So my soul is going to know their soul is actually needing help, and unconsciously we're both going to go to Walmart, and then she's going to say, like all others have said to me, "Oh, your eyes, they are so beautiful. Those are beautiful green eyes." And I'm like, "Thank you." I hear it a lot. But these are, and I've been told this, these are what bring people to me. And that's the first words out of their mouth. When I see somebody I don't know walking toward me, the first words out of their mouth are, "Oh, your eyes are so pretty." And then it goes from there. I'm like, "Oh, thank you. That's sweet." You know, I compliment them on something, or even their eyes. Used to, before I knew who I was, I would just say thank you and then talk to them because I felt like they needed to talk about something or they needed some kind of guidance. But now I know different. Our souls have brought us together because one of us needs something. And I'm not saying that I never need anything, because I do. I feel that there's times where I need a push. They are all over tonight. I really think they like it when I do these videos. Not even joking. I'm just curious at how many I'm going to see through the whole video. Me saying that to you, I hope that if a stranger comes up to you and starts talking to you about any and everything, know that they need that for a reason. You could be their trigger. You could be their push. You could be that advice that they need to hear at that time. Their soul has brought them to you for a reason. Don't sit there and say, well, unless it's dire need, don't sit there and say, "Oh, I gotta go," because you think they're crazy because they came up talking to you. Stop and think and know. Stop. These itty bitty ones are the ones that get my attention. They come right in my face and then go up. Anyway, stop and think. Okay, this person is approaching me talking about whatever, and they feel so comfortable in doing so that they need my help, obviously. They don't know me, but our souls know each other, and they're communicating. We don't know this, but they are, and they're brought to you for some information that the person needs. And you will have that answer. Trust me. Don't even think about it. Just answer, because the right things will come out. And when you stop and you're like, "Whoa, I never would have said that. That was like full of wisdom." That was your higher self saying it. Or your guides were pushing that information through, because you gave them permission to do so before you incarnated. When you say things that are like just full of wisdom, or like, "I would never say that," guess what? You had some help. And I feel a lot of this is being channeled through me to you. The one reason why is because all the orbs, they're very active. 2, I'm tingling everywhere. And that usually means that I'm channeling. Not always. And then some words are just flowing right out. You know, if you watch my channel long enough, that I stumble over my words all the time. I can't even talk right. And when things flow through and full of just information, the only thing missing is me saying "we." And that is another way to tell that an entity is channeling through me. But I feel sometimes, you ever watch that Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage movie? I can't remember the name of it, but he was an angel and then he fell to earth because he was in love with her. But before he did that, you seen him and the other guy, they would lay their hands on a person and channel information to him, and that person would do it. They would act out what the angels had gave them. Google that movie if you don't know what I'm talking about. Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage movie. Just put /angel or whatever. But I think that truly happens. I really do. Seriously. I really do. So know this, and even though if you're an earthling and people come up to you, you still had that contract. A star seed had approached you while we were doing our contracts and say, hey, earthling, I am going to be struggling at this point. Can you come to me and remind me who I actually am? And they're going to approach me in Walmart and say, you know, I think that you're very special and you're very kind. And I enjoyed talking to you, and all the advice that you gave me had really helped me. And you're going to perk up, and then you're going to like, oh, well, that felt good. I just tingled. I'm sure that was channeled. But that's going to remind you who you are unconsciously. You know, I hope all this is making sense. I was thinking today at work, what am I going to do another video on, blah, blah, blah. Didn't know. I kind of got like little flashes of things, which is common here lately. When I walked in the door, I had to use the bathroom. While I was using the bathroom, it all come to me like a floodgate. I'm like, okay, I'll talk about it. Give me a break. I need privacy for a second. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any other questions about the whole topic that I talked about, please ask in the comments below. I answer. If you look in all my comments from previous videos, you'll see that I answer. So yes, I'm going to end this here because today's a work night, or not, today's not a work night. I have to go to bed early because I get up at 5 in the morning. That's what I meant to say. See, I stumble. So know that I deeply love you guys tremendously. Without a doubt, deep within my heart and soul. New subscribers, I hope you like my content, and I'm hoping that you're here to stay. If you like things extraterrestrial, spiritual, mediumship, clairvoyance kind of stuff, you're in the right place. But for now, I'm going to send all of you love, light, and peace. Bye.